Okay, this is my camp. I'm at the Rock. I got here right at 9 o'clock, so my guesstimate to get here at 9 was dead on. Here is the fire spot, the fire pit, campfire. Letting that get going here. And I got some gear over here piled. I got my Coleman lantern going, obviously. I just had the Coleman lantern going to give you some light. It was just amazing. I mean, it's so dark, you got a flashlight, you can try and see what you're doing, and it's just real difficult. Once I got that going, it was like, yeah, buddy. Okay, got some gear here. And most of my gear is just like right here in these couple of tubs. Cooler, water, got a toilet, and a heater for sleeping at night. And let's turn off this dome light. We are on a battery saving regimen here. No more dome light. It is currently 51 degrees outside, 58 degrees in the Bronco. And Sago's in there. You really can't see her, but you can see her red jacket. It's breezy. It's a little wind. Well, it's not breezy. It's windy. The fire's just kind of going crazy. It would be possible to have a hot tent in here. You got a rock floor. And a little bit of an overhang. You know, it's so breezy, it would be nice to be able to get into a hot tent with the stove going. And do your thing in there out of the wind. It's 58 degrees, or 51 degrees. Sparks going all over the Bronco. Look at that. Don't catch fire. Be nice to be able to be in a hot tent to do some cooking. Roast a hot dog over the fire in there in the stove rather than out here in the wind. You know, sitting here in the chair. Look at all those sparks just going everywhere. Well, maybe it'll die down here a little bit. I got a huge stump out on the flat I can go get. Well, it's not huge. It's pretty big. This is like the wood that you see, or the wood comes from a bush that you would see in front of somebody's house that's green, and they trim them to shape or whatever. It's the wood from that. I thought it was cedar when I first got here. I was like, all right, got some cedar, but no, I think it's that decorative bush that's green that everybody shapes and so forth. It kind of stinks. I like all these sparks going everywhere. Got my window up. I mean, sparks going everywhere. It's fine. I just don't like them going, hitting the Bronco. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't think it's going to hurt anything, but still. Usually we would back in here. Remember doing that? You would go out here and then take a left. We'd back in here and just park right in front of the fire pit. Well, I backed in here a little bit behind it and beside it. Yeah, that looks pretty good there. Sago was kind of whiny and felt a little displaced. Well, she is now. It's because I was walking away. So I kind of cleared it out in here in the back and gave her a place to lay down. That's all she wanted. She just wanted to lay down on the ground like somebody else's dog would. Okay, enough. I'm going to crack open a beer and and I'm going to roast a hot dog. That sounds pretty good. Okay, a little update here. I am obviously in bed. There's a little buddy heater running. I have it running on the lowest setting I can run it on. It's on low and a little bit under that. I got my CO2 or carbon monoxide detector out, and it's right next to the heater. Never had a problem before, but you never know. Oh, excuse me. Well, I cooked a couple hot dogs. I ate them as fast as I could. Even though I was standing next to the fire, I was still cold. The wind was still blowing me around. And, you know, it's like all I can think about is a hot tent. I would have been inside of it, next to a stove, out of the wind, theoretically, out of the wind. And I could just eat and go to bed. I had to build my bed in here. Of course, you got to build it in a hot tent. I built my bed in here. Had a couple challenges, but I got it all done. And I got a temperature already. It's 50. Oh, I don't remember now. 66 degrees in here. And 59 degrees in here. $59 degrees in here and 50 outside. So it's 10 degrees warmer in here than it is outside. I might get a little warm. I do have the back window cracked, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch where it curves. I got a window cracked up front. I got my fire going out there, going real low. And I have my tubs of food right next to the back tire on the Bronco, which is they're between the fire and the Bronco. So they might be getting a little bit of heat. If it was going to freeze outside, I don't think it would freeze long enough to freeze my food. But if it was like going to be freezing for a long period of time, or if it was a lot colder, I would have to bring my food in here so it wouldn't freeze. I am warm. I'm probably going to get too warm, and I'll have to turn that heater off. Do another heat check. 60 degrees in here, 50 degrees outside. Of course, this temperature taker, the thermometer, is right next to the window, so I'm going to put it right here. Over here, between Sago and I. I forgot Sago's Chewies. That's a really bad mistake. I had something else for her, though, so I think she's satisfied. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Well, good morning. It's Sunday morning, and I slept pretty good last night. I kept waking up. I was a little cramped. The bed's not quite 6 foot, and I am, well, 5'11", but close enough. So I didn't sleep real good, but I slept pretty good. It was warm. I was plenty warm. I ran the heater for about an hour, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up. Actually, I set an alarm for 2 hours to wake up and evaluate myself, how I was feeling, making sure everything was all right. It's everything against me is against having this heater run inside the tent, the back of the truck, because it's closed in. Even though I had a couple of windows cracked, it's still a little weird for me. Even though I have one of these, a carbon monoxide detector. Before I would run two, but now I'm just running one. Anyway, I woke up about an hour before my 2-hour alarm went off, and I was hot. I was warming up, and Sago was hot. She was panting a little bit, so I decided to turn the heater off. And you know, when you turn the heater off, you can sure tell when you turn it off, because the cold sure creeps in really fast. But I left it off. And then I woke up again. I don't know what time it was, because I'm trying not to look at the time while I'm out here. I don't want to be governed by the wristwatch, by the time on the phone or anything. I was kind of going off the sun, going off the lay of the land, just going off of everything so I can just do my own routine. And I woke up at some point in the night. I think it was pretty early in the morning, because I do remember looking at the weather report. The weather report was saying that we're going to hit a low of 35. No. We're going to hit a low of 32. Well, I woke up and it was 35 degrees inside. And I was pretty chilly, and Sago had really snuggled up against me to get some extra warmth. So I leaned down and I turned the heater on, put on low, and it ran for the remainder of the night in there. And it ran out of propane. I refill my own propane bottles. They don't last the full 8 hours the way a brand new one does. And so I got maybe another 4 hours out of it. And I remember it clicking off because it ran out, and the sun was just barely coming up. And when it clicked off, it got cold really fast. And I thought, well, when the sun comes up, it's just going to finish warming up in here. And it got to about, it was 46 degrees outside. What the temperature say on the inside? I think it said about 50, 53, something like that. Maybe it was 56. And I thought, well, yeah, I can live with that. So I slept in till about, I did look at the clock, doggone it. I slept in till about 9, and it's about 9:30 now. And I'm just getting everything put together. I think I see our United States of America flag out there on the island flapping, which would be amazing. I think that's what I see flapping out there. Maybe a piece of it. And I see something shiny out on the flat. Could be a water trailer. And there's some other features I want to go look at and explore today. And this tank needs to be decommissioned. I can hear it leaking. Can you hear it leaking? Just a little bit. So that's all I have to report this morning. What was that? You're being all tough and then a fly landed on you. I don't blame you. I don't like it either. We did see a badger out here. He crossed. Went all the way out there. It was cool. He was just trotting along. Trot, 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 trot. I made a noise and he looked at me and he was like, "What are you going to do to me?" He was so neat looking. I went way around that guy on that bike. After he left our site, he went further up the road and parked next to a rock, got off his bike, and he just sat there for a little while on a rock. I went way around him. Like that badger did us. And we camped, I can't see on the screen, but big rock right out there. And we're over here. There's another camping spot, kind of a big spot. Never camped here. It's a nice fire pit. Nice view of the flats. You know, that guy was on an awfully small scooter for being out here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's no cell service, no ham radio service. And those bikes can only go, what, 35, 40 mile an hour tops? It would take him hours to get out here at that kind of speed. Makes me wonder if there's somebody further up. What you got going here, Sago? I'm gonna walk around the rock till you find a place to get up it. Head-to! I could almost, with the exception of the road right down there, jumping up onto this, I could get my fifth wheel up here. My Montana. We're going to look around a little bit, see if we can discover anything here. There's foot traffic going up here. And really, that's all I know. I'd like to know which direction that guy on that bike went. I think he went, instead of back onto the flat, I think he turned and went further southwest, which on that road will dead end. He'll have to come back unless he's camped up there. This is where I camped last year, and there's been a drastic change. So I camped right in there. Right in there. Had my fire. Got cold. Drastic change is they've had so much rain that it's all washed out. I've never seen this right here before. And not just here, it washed clear across behind the Bronco. There's another wash over here and one behind that one. Just amazing. Looks like some people have gone down through there. I can do it. But I am going to do this. This is where it all happened. Last December. Had my fire here. Now the sheepers have been here since I camped. Truck was parked right here. I ran over that big rock right there, my front tire. Boy, the rains have cleansed the land and cleaned it all off. Nature is just amazing. There was a gallon jug of Coleman fuel underneath here. It's probably long gone. It was like right there. Who knows where it would have went. There is no firewood here to be had. One of them have a leftover water right here. I'm working. It's probably good to drink water sitting out there in the sun. This is my, hey Sago, a gallon jug of Coleman fuel underneath there. I don't see it. Hey, stop chasing your tail. I'm going to explore this area pretty good since I got good daylight. It's 60 degrees out here. And see if I can find a good hot tent camping area. These look like mint. They are. Weird. Did I put that there? I don't remember. I had my frozen bottle of water right up here. And I left a note up here for the sheepers, thanking them for the firewood and the Coleman fuel that I used. Oh yeah, there were some rags underneath there too. Why is there mint out here? That is so weird. It's like, I think it's spearmint. Well, you could do a hot tent in this area here. Have all kinds of guy out points and places, but it's not real level, but doable. Get it like up in here where it's not so tilted on the ground. This would not be a bad spot. Move these rocks. Not too bad. What if it was raining? All this water is going to run down into your tent. It would be nice if I could drive back in here. That's kind of narrow right there. Okay, I'm going to continue to look around. If I see anything worth mentioning, I'll get you on and we'll take a look at it together. Can you imagine being so cold and you're trying to warm up with everything you got? You come out here, you grab these couple of old dead sheep, you grab their wool and you cover up with it. Might not smell too good, but I think it'd keep you warm. Okay, this is behind Sheepers. You drive up a steep hill and then another one. And the road appears a dead end up here. But there's a gate. And this would be a neat spot to camp. As long as there's no wind, of course. You can get into here. No wind, no rain. Of course, get in here and camp. Look at this huge rock. This is the huge rock you see on top of this area. Top of Sheepers from the distance. I'm not sure if the road goes down over this way or not. We'll go look. I did see a vehicle coming in off the highway. I wonder where they're going. There's where I camped down below. This was a midway point for Jack Watson. There's that vehicle way out there. This was a midway point for Jack Watson between Ibex and Painter Spring. He would spend the night here. Sago, come on. That vehicle's coming in. He is coming in. Okay, I'm gonna put this camera down. I'm gonna watch him. It was a Dodge truck. It came in from the Painter Spring side way out there. And they jumped off on the road, on the dirt road. And they came up, all the way up. They hit the road coming straight into here. They were coming in hot, fast. And they came in, they jumped across the creek. And I went and looked behind. I was over here and I crawled up. I was looking over like an Indian watching them. And they came up around here. I had to switch vantage points so they couldn't see me. And when they came up over here, I actually ran back to the Bronco, put Sago in, and got the AR out. And I just kind of stayed there in the Bronco, waiting for them to come up the steep hill. They never did. They came up, they saw the steep hill, they turned around, and then they went all the way back out. All the way back out towards Painter Spring. And they're still sitting over there at the intersection of the highway and the dirt road. They're just sitting there. I can't tell what they're doing. And since they've been sitting there, another black vehicle is coming in, and they're actually over here. So get down over here so they really have a hard time seeing me. I'm going to put my schmog on for camouflage. And okay, I'm going to just watch them. Okay, they passed the road. That comes up here. That's good. So they're not coming up here. So I'll just keep an eye on them. I'm going to finish walking around and exploring the area. I don't understand why that Dodge was coming in so fast and so hot. I see another something shiny way out there below the hill. Why is there so much traffic out here? It's ridiculous. All right. We'll check back later. Another view of the camp spot up here on top of Sheepers. There's the big rock. No firewood, have to bring your own firewood. You could drive in here, close the fence, and be fenced in. A lot of highway noise. You can hear the highway real well here. I don't like that. If I hear vehicles, I want to hear if they're driving in. You could camp in there. If the wind was coming from the other side, you could camp in there and be all kinds of protected. This is on the southwest side of Sheepers. Camp in there. That's actually a pretty cool spot. You're fenced off. Wow, you'd be really protected. And we're gonna see if we can get in there. We're in here, and this is kind of a neat spot in here. You got some protection over here, and you got some protection right here. As long as the wind's not blowing up this little canyon, you have all kinds of possibilities. It's not real level. Up here, it's about, 17 feet wide. I'm always shopping for a campsite that will shield you from the wind. What you see up there, Sago? Really can't drive up in here. The fence blocks your access. I got in here because the fence was down because of the flood. All right, we'll keep looking around. If I see something worth mentioning, we'll get it. I have another note. I'm still in the same spot, just walking back to the Bronco. When I was up on top, I spied something shiny in the sky above the flat. And I was watching it through my scope. Looked like an airplane wing. And he was banking, he was turning. And as he turned, the reflection disappeared because the angle of his wing didn't reflect anymore. And it looked like he was coming down. So when I returned back out there, there could be a plane out there. All right, I gotta pick Sago up over this fence. There's 2 strands of barbed wire. I don't want her to get cut. There's Notch Peak. Looking good. No snow yet. All right. And Sheepers is right over there. I came down here to look at the cow ponds, and they got water in them. Swing around here and you can see that. Okay, cow ponds. There's also one on the other side of the road. It's completely dry. Amazing. This one, lots of water. I'm just out here driving across the desert. Sheepers is behind me, and I'm pushing more towards the flat, the island, And I got another black vehicle out here. I'm kind of driving right at him. Okay, they're moving faster. Not too much else to say. Just exploring.